And a warm welcome back to TVB News. University admission results were out today, and nearly 80% of eligible applicants managed to score university places through the Joint University Programmes admission scheme. Kaina Chu has more.
Fancy playing a duet with your future dean? That's only when you've made it to the top medical school by attaining 9 5-star stars in the Hong Kong DSC examination. The University of Hong Kong said 14 of the new students admitted to its Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery program this year hold at least 6 5-star stars. Among them, Thomas Wong, this year's DSC superstar who attained 5-star star in 9 subjects, as well as Lam Yu Yi, who scored 5-star star in 7. Overall, HKU took in a total of 43 students with 5 5-star stars or above. Over at the Chinese University of Hong Kong Faculty of Medicine, there will be 155 JUPAS intakes this year. Under the JUPAS system, roughly 16,000 out of more than 21,000 candidates who met the minimum university entry requirement of 33222 were offered places at 8 subsidized universities or were admitted to Open University's self-financing degree programs. Around 3,500 others, despite also meeting the requirement, could only be admitted to other institutions offering various levels of post-secondary education. The number of people who received one of their top 3 program choices fell slightly from last year. Some with no offer approached the Vocational Training Council. The more than 140 courses on offer comprise full-time bachelor's degrees and higher diploma programs, as well as diploma of foundation studies for more than 17,000 students. Kaina Chu, TVB News.
The Foreign Correspondents Club says it neither endorses nor opposes the views of speakers who come to talk at its venue, but says the right to speak and debate freely is vital for Hong Kong. This comes amid the ongoing row over the FCC's decision to invite the convener of the Hong Kong National Party to give a talk. Christy Leung reports.
Hong Kong National Party convener Andy Chen will give his talk at the FCC next Tuesday. The club says it invites a wide range of speakers, including senior officials of the Chinese and Hong Kong governments, as well as their opponents. The statements came after the Ministry of Foreign Affairs contacted the club regarding the talk. The party has come under the spotlight in recent weeks. That as the Security Bureau announced it is considering a police recommendation to ban the party under society's ordinance. The club reiterated that it doesn't endorse or oppose the views of its speakers. The FCC believes that it is vitally important to allow people to speak and debate freely in free societies such as Hong Kong. The city's former governor Chris Patten waded into the row when interviewed by foreign media. He said it is quite simply wrong for the ministry to get involved with an issue which should be determined within Hong Kong. However, pro-establishment lawmaker Priscilla Leung, who is also a Basic Law Committee member, says there are limits to freedom of speech.
Principles have laid out very clearly for freedom of speech to be exercised. There can exist some kind of limit. The limit will lay on the category like protection of national security, territorial integrity.
A pan-democratic lawmaker disagreed with this.
If we believe in freedom of speech, we all know that all the speeches, all the speakers, their voices, their words are subject to debate. As long as it is fall into the legal perspective, which is not rejected by the law, I think that is something that we have to be protected by freedom of speech, which is stipulated in the basic law.
Wu added that whether Andy Chen's advocacy is feasible can be proven through debate. Christy Leung, TVB News.
3 men accused of involvement in a Tsim Sha Tsui jewellery shop robbery last month appeared at Kowloon City Magistracy today for a mention hearing. The defendants aged 36 to 41 include a construction worker, a renovation worker and a drainage worker. They were charged with a joint count of conspiracy to rob. No plea was taken today, and the court adjourned the case until October 8th. The defendants were denied bail. The trio were arrested on the mainland, and Guangdong authorities handed them over to Hong Kong police last Saturday. Over 100 outsourced cleaners went on a 6-hour strike in Kwun Tong this morning. Pinky Wong tells us what caused elderly workers to take part.
These are people who keep Hong Kong streets clean. But at what cost? This 70-year-old said just a few days ago she was hurried while taking a sip of water after working for 2 straight hours in the sun. Later, she was ordered by government officials not to eat while on duty. The cleaners, outsourced from the Food and Environmental Hygiene Department, went on strike over stricter conditions and increasing workload. They are accusing the government of trying to put pressure on the contractor to fire its elderly workers. The government also needs to be reasonable, said this 65-year-old who has been cleaning local streets for 10 years. He said often cleaners need to take care of construction and food waste that are outside the scope of their job responsibilities. One of the group providing assistance is the Hong Kong Confederation of Trade Unions, which said 1/3 of workers in Kwun Tong and Ao Tau Kok took part in today's strike. The industrial action only ended after a meeting between a contractor representative and the Food and Environmental Hygiene Department. The department is said to have promised to relax work conditions. Unions expressed regret they were unable to attend talks with the government department today, but vowed to monitor if the authorities have improved cleaners' work environment. Pinky Wong, TVB News.
Overseas again, 20 people were killed when a plane built in the late 1930s crashed in the Swiss Alps yesterday. The victims were from Switzerland and neighbouring Austria, as well as the 3 crew members. The propeller plane was flying the passengers back to its base near Zurich from a 2-day trip to the Italian-speaking part of the country. It crashed less than 50 minutes after takeoff. Determining why the vintage plane crashed will be challenging. That's because the 79-year-old aircraft did not have black box recorders and was in an area without frequent radar readings.
Israel's defense chief has posted a video of a sea barrier the country is building to prevent attacks from Gaza, which is ruled by the Islamic militant group Hamas. In a tweet, Israeli Defense Minister Avigdor Lieberman said, "We are continuing intensive work to build land and sea obstacles around Gaza. Hamas is losing its capability to attack Israel every day." The post came as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reportedly convened his security cabinet to discuss an Egyptian-brokered ceasefire deal with Hamas. Both sides came close to serious conflict recently when months of border violence escalated. As part of the negotiations, several exiled Hamas leaders are in Gaza for talks. And that's the news.
Thanks for watching. Have a very good night. Bye-bye.